Dear Ma and Pa, don't think I have forgotten you folks at home. It has been 2 weeks since I last wrote you, but I'm thinking of home and of you all every minute. I will always try to write home every week so you will know that I'm alright, but I do keep putting it off, and that's why I don't get more mail, I suppose. I don't blame anyone for not writing to me, for I'm so darn long in answering their letters. I have not received any mail from the States for quite some time. I really don't know why you folks that have plenty of time don't write more often. They all ought to know I don't have as much time as they do for writing letters. I have 101 things to do every day. I play football, basketball. I'm now in a minstrel show that my company is giving next Saturday in the hospital. You see, we don't have very many patients now that the war is over, and we have quite a bit of spare time. I'm also singing in a quartet, and a double quartet. We're going to give a band to play on a big night. If the show proves a good one, they're going to let us travel all around. It will make it quite nice for us, you see. We're going to play in an ambulance company in football next Saturday, and there are a core of other teams we are going to play if we come along all right. I understand that Koblenz has quite a few good teams too. Koblenz is only about 15 miles from Andernach. It's quite a nice city at that. I've been up to the city quite a few times, and I can drive there in 40 minutes from the hospital. This little town that I'm in is quite a nice place. The population of it is about 14,000. Have you ever read in the paper of Andernach? The Third Army is all around here in Koblenz. By the way, do you know what army I'm in? I'm in the Third Army in the 4th Corps. The Third Army has seen quite a lot of fighting. I've seen some awful sights while passing through these battlefields. I'll tell you more about it when I come home. The way things look now, it is pretty poor for going home right off. I don't think I'll be home before peace is signed, and that'll be in June, or somewhere around there. Somehow I kind of think I'll be home in the month of June. I always have thought that when I come over on the boat, I told a pal of mine that we'd be going home next June. It sure does seem quite a long time, but it will pass before we know it. Don't worry about me while I'm over here, for I'm living in a good clean life and I have great quarters. We are sleeping in a hospital in different wards, and we have nice beds with dandy springs. Just think, we are sleeping in nice white sheets and have all the blankets that we could want. We could have 100 blankets apiece if we really wanted to. Then we have 5 big windows from the floor to the very high ceiling. That makes it pretty nice for us, and we can stand next to the window and see all the German girls. There are nurses in the next building. We raise up our windows and we're able to wave to them. Then we have steam and hot and cold water with nice big white tubs. You see, I'm not suffering at all over here, so please don't worry about me. This hospital is a very big hospital. It's 10 times bigger than the one on Prospect Hill in Lawrence. The best part of it is that our hospital has the main part of the building and the Germans have the rest of it. There is no other American soldier in this hospital. They put the other branches of service in cubby buildings, private homes like in the cellar or attic, and in the schoolhouses and farms or any place at all where we can get room. I think the difference in hospitals is that the army we have is very lucky and we always have a nice place to set up our hospital. I have pictures taken up here in Germany and I will send them home with this letter. They are not very good of me, but I can't help that. I'm getting a few more, and I hope they will come out better. You will see in the pictures my service stripe and my insignia. That's why I've had a few of them taken, because I wanted you to see my new decoration. I've sent quite a few souvenirs home to you, and I hope you receive them all. I sent 3 boxes of helmets. There was 3 in one box, 1 in another, and 6 helmets in all. Then I have sent a few German belts and buckles as well. I also sent home some pipes to Pa and Harry. They're big long pipes, and I guess us Americans would use them more of a souvenir than for use. It is a good smoking pipe though. I can't think of all the souvenirs I have sent home. I sent quite a few though, I'm sure you've gotten them. I have sent home a few rings, 5 little silver ones, and 3 gold-plated ones. They all had a German cross on them. I want you to give 1 of the silver rings to each of Harry's kids, and 1 to each of George's kids. There is a little one a little longer than the rest. Grace can have that one if she wants it. Give 1 of the gold-plated rings to Harry and 1 of them to George. They're just a souvenir, you know. Please tell me how everybody is at home. I sincerely hope that everybody is in the best of health. You were all very lucky for keeping away from the influenza, because it's a terrible disease for old America, all right. There are fellows in my company that have lost mothers and fathers, sisters, and brothers. It was quite a sad company for quite a while. I sure thank God for keeping my dear old family safe and sound throughout that terrible epidemic. I did forget to tell you that I play halfback on our football team. I never played the backfield before, and I'm always in the line somewhere. Now, please write me a nice long letter and tell me all the news you know about, and write more often. I hate to see the other fellows get so much mail, and I really don't get very much of late. Tell Grace to come to life and write once in a while. Please tell Harry and George to tell me about their family. I've had quite a few letters from Mary and Burridge, and here and there from Pearl once in a while. I don't know why Sadie doesn't write me. She has plenty of time. Or maybe she's busy trying to make a few million on the war game. Please do give my regards to Leslie, and tell him not to be sore for not getting any mail from me, because I don't write very much. The only people I write to are you at home. Well, this is all I have to write for now, and I will write again in a couple of days when I have the time. With love to you all, sincerely, Frank. Dear Ma and Pa, again I must write you and say that I have not heard from anybody since October 8th. That was the date of the last letter I received, which was from Grace. I was in Trier, or Treves as we Americans call it. I received it on December 15th, and since then I have not heard from anybody at home. The only mail I received was a letter from Harry, and it was dated on the 27th of December. Now believe me, I was glad to hear it, because he told me that you, Ma and Pa, were in the best of health, and that did make me feel a great deal better. He also told me that you had a delightful Christmas, and I'm glad to hear that, and surely wished I was back home on that day. But I wonder if you're getting any of my mail. I sent quite a few souvenirs home. Now why in the deuce I don't get any mail from home is more than I can see. It can't be that the last letter I received was the one that Grace wrote me on October 8th. I could get a letter any day now. Mail is coming in every day regularly, and all the boys are getting their mail all right. I'm sorry for the mail subject. I guess I must be a bit off my feed for crapping like that. Perhaps it's because I just watched an autopsy performed on a fellow. He died with influenza and it was a terrible case. He was a nice fellow. He would make two of me. He left a wife and a little girl of 7 years old. Wasn't that so bad? I'm trying to make this letter not a crap hanger, so I will stop talking about the dead. Instead, I'll tell you about a trip I took up the Rhine Sunday. It's a great trip to go on, and I often wished you were all there with me. Everything is going pretty well up here in Germany. I'm getting so I can speak a little bit of the language. I suppose you are wondering when I'm coming home, and to tell you the truth, I have no idea when that will be. I wish I could be there right now and land in the most beautiful place in the world. The way things look to me is I'll be over here until at least July. Of course, a fellow doesn't know when or what is going to happen in this man's army at any time. The main thing is for you to keep writing for me until you see my face in the doorway of 13 Dorchester Street. I can't realize my being home and being a civilian again. I'll be the happiest man in the world when that happens. I wish to be a free man once again. You see, I am in the Army of Occupation, and that is the army that went up the Rhine. All the divisions have seen active service at the front. One thing I am proud to say is that I am in Germany in the United States Army of Occupation. We had a minstrel show in my company. You must remember when I told you about it. It was a good show, even if I was in it. We were going to travel, but the fellows couldn't have their own way and decided to give it up. We have a good basketball team in our unit now. They have played 7 or 8 games, and we've won every one. Well, the last couple of Lawrence boys in my company let me read the law papers. That's some strike they're having up there. Tell me if it affects Pa in any way, but I don't suppose it does with his line of work. Pa always did enjoy the strikes. How is Grace getting on? Is she still staying at home with you, Ma? Please give my love to all the folks at home, and tell them not to think I have forgotten them in times just because I don't write to them. You tell them that the only letters I write is to you. How is Charles getting on? Tell him with George and Harry to write me some more. I wish too that Sade would write to me and tell me all the news. It must be great to have Sade, Doris, George, and all the fellows up at Christmas. I expect to pass for Paris next month. There are fellows going up there on pass today. It'll be some time before the train from here gets there. It does take about 40 hours from here. The train service in France is very congested. If I see any good souvenirs in Paris, I will buy them for you all. I suppose that this is all I have time to write for now, but I will write again very soon. With love and kisses, sincerely your son, Frank. P.S. Keep writing to me even if you think I am on my way home. Let me know if you've received the helmets and other souvenirs of Germany.